Hey everyone out there in internet land, it's Allison Des. Sorry I haven't vlogged lately. I did a little bit of vlogging, but I actually have been really sick for the past week and a half. I had a fever of like 102 for a few days, so that was not very fun. And I didn't think that you out there would want to see me at my absolute worst. So I haven't made a film in, since before Christmas. My Christmas was very stressful. It actually is what led to my sickness. My New Year's Eve sucked. I passed out before even midnight. I didn't get to drink because I still had a fever and all that fun stuff. I did receive a lot of great material things though for Christmas. One of which is this. And if you don't know what it is a USS Enterprise, the original one, so it doesn't have any letters. Pizza cutter! So, you probably don't know this out there in TV land, or internet land, but I'm a gluten-free person, mainly for health reasons. But I make a killer gluten-free pizza, and it's one of my favorite things to make on a Friday night because usually I'm pretty lazy and pizza just sounds like an awesome thing. And the pizza cutter that I had was really sucky. So now I get this really nerdy one that's pretty heavy duty. I think I could actually like knock someone out with it. And it was the first gift I actually opened on Christmas from my parents. So it was really fun. I also received a new drawing tablet for my computer, which is going to be great because I'm trying to be more creative in the new year. That's one of my resolutions. And one of the ways I want to do that is to get back to drawing all the figures that I used to do, especially in terms of comic and anime figures. I also received a really awesome new sewing machine. It's all computerized and it's got all these really cool stitches and all this stuff, and it was really awesome. I can't wait to make costumes with it. So I made out really well in terms of material things. It was just the whole sickness that kind of put a damper on the holidays. The thing I wanted to probably talk about the most though is Game of Thrones. That's my current obsession in fandom right now. It's a book series called A Song of Ice and Fire. It's fantasy, but I tried to read a whole bunch of fantasy novels and I just couldn't get into them. I don't have a lot of time to spend reading, so I don't really like wasting my time reading crap. And a lot of fantasy is crap, unfortunately, out there. Either it's very male-centric, geared towards a 12-year-old pubescent boy, and the plot is lacking, or the writing is lacking, and the plot is really good. But I have to have both of those. There has to be a synthesis for me to get into a series. And A Song of Ice and Fire happens to be that series. It's by George R.R. Martin, and it's still continuing. It hasn't finished yet. Damn you, Martin. The fifth book is supposed to be out sometime soon. He says he's in the editing process, but, it's been in the editing process since 2006, so who knows when we'll be able to see it. The first book is called A Game of Thrones, and then it goes to A Clash of Kings, A Storm of Swords, and A Feast for Crows. If you haven't read them, they're awesome. They're highly addictive, and they have a lot of bad language, coarse language, so if you're not into that, don't look into it. But I think my favorite aspect of it is that there is no distinction between good and evil. Everyone has a fluctuation of morality, and a lot of development goes on. Although some of the characters develop more so than others, which kind of is irritating. Martin does a really good job of making you like a character in one moment and then not liking them in the next. You know, that there's nothing that's set in stone, and he's not afraid to kill off anyone. I'm not afraid. I should show you like a whiteboard account of how many people that he has killed off in his novels. You can't get too attached. My only problem with it is that, you know, you can obviously tell that he is also a horny author. He definitely interjects his sexual desires into the book. So, you know, when metaphors arise for you know, a guy walking down the street and he saw a ship and he got excited as a virgin having her legs spread open. To me, that's a little ridiculous, mainly because I am a female and I never think of myself in that manner. I like to think that I'm pretty sexually liberated, but I don't think of myself only on sexual terms. And some of these characters definitely reveal Martin's inner thoughts on that. But the story is really cool. It's vaguely about the struggle for a kingdom called Westeros, and, you know, whose claim to the throne. My favorite character is, well, I have two favorites, and they're Jon Snow of House Stark, and then Daenerys Targaryen. And to be really, really geeky right now, I've been considering for a first tattoo getting the banners of those two houses on my shoulder blades. House Stark has a really awesome direwolf, which I've always been really into wolves anyway. It's why I have two Siberian Huskies as pets. And also, House Targaryen has a three-headed dragon. And they're supposed to be, you know, representations of fire and ice, which are also the elements that make up my composition in terms of Chinese medicine. So, I don't know how much that's going to cost me, and I haven't gone to an artist, because it's one of those things where you have to really have disposable income, and every time I have disposable income, I do something, you know, financially responsible, as in putting it into an emergency fund or savings or something like that. So I haven't gotten it, and I haven't found an artist that I like. It's just one of those dream things. But if I'm going to be a fighter, I have to have a tattoo. It's like a prerequisite. If you look at any fighters, especially in the MMA, they are covered in tattoos. So I can't be in the ring and not have something. And if you look up the Targaryen banner, it's just a badass dragon. It's so much better than a lot of fantasy dragons out there. It's especially the HBO's version. If you didn't know, HBO is coming out with a series, I think it's 13 episodes, based on the first novel of Game of Thrones. And it's going to have Sean Bean in it, and it's going to have Lena Headey from 300, which I know all you guys think is really hot, so you should watch it for her. She gets to be the evil queen. And it has a lot of people that I don't really know, but they all look amazing, and the production looks fantastic for it. They really went above and beyond. And because George R.R. Martin's still alive, you know, he got to come in and consult on a lot of the things. So I think that's really, really cool. So that was my big nerdy thing to talk about today. If I get the tattoos, I'll definitely show you guys. But I don't see that happening anytime soon, unless someone out there wants to draw me the tattoo design and wants to give me the tattoo. Other than that, you know, it's just a dream. Also, I wanted to mention that I've repurposed my house with my boyfriend. We have a very small house, and man, this light sucks. Sorry. So my boyfriend and I, we've repurposed our house. We have one big common area, from the front door, and then we had an extra spare bedroom. And the spare bedroom was my office for a time, but I wasn't using it that much. I just had all my craft stuff and all my computer stuff and my desk, and I'm not at home very often. I'm either here or I'm out training, so I I never wanted to be separated from my animals and my boyfriend. So I would be as I would be in the office. So we also had a big dining room table right here that we just never ate it. You know, it had a leaf, and when we could sit eat 8 people, and we never had people over for dinner parties or anything like that. We didn't eat dinner at the table. We didn't eat any meals there. I think we've had people sit there twice. So we decided to repurpose the rooms in the house for the New Year's. The office moved out here where the living room or the dining room was, and then the spare bedroom became an exercise room. And we went to IKEA when we were in Baltimore, and I got new furniture and a new office setup, which I love so very much. I've got room for my laptop and my desktop and my sewing machine, and then I got a little desktop easel for whenever I want to paint. I can bring that out and put it on the desk. And then we got a new coffee table and entertainment center to try and brighten up the space and make it more compact and European looking, because we don't have a lot of space and we need to use it more efficiently. And then the exercise room became our room of badassery. We've matted the whole floor. We've got our kettlebells and our mace bells and all the Tai Chi weapons in there and Kung Fu weapons. I think my airsoft gun, my airsoft rifle is in there too. We got a freestanding heavy bag, which is awesome. I get to punch all the time now. I don't need just a person. We're going to be getting a few other things to set it up too. So once I get everything cleaned up, things need to be finalized around here, but I definitely want to show you pictures of the new and improved places. So next time I think I'll detail my New Year's resolutions, because they definitely have to do with my being a fighter, my being a designer, and my being a geek. So let me know how your holidays were, and I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to feel somewhat human, and hope all goes well. See ya.